Evening.
Seen Teddy recently?
Teddy? Yeah, who?
Berrigan, whatever you call him by Bear. He goes by so many different
Is
names.
that the EMS that lives in your house?
Yes, yes.
The one that smashed up the mirror?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him. Are you sure?
Really?
You sure he exists?
Yeah, he does. I've run into him a few times. I was calling him because he said that we were going to get our solar panels replaced, but they still haven't been replaced yet, and I want to make sure our electricity doesn't go out.
Oh.
But I can't get a hold of Winston because I know that that's who he went through before. And honestly, I haven't even seen Winston in weeks. And there's nobody listed. It's like so many people were doing like electrical work, and then now nobody does it.
Hmm.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
just needed to get out of the fucking hospital. I was going stir crazy listening to the beeps of the machines.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Let me give Remington a call. I know she can do
Oh, that's right,
she can
Liz.
do like power breakers and stuff like that. So she might have
That's true. That's true.
no, she'll pick it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be a little late for her.
Yeah. How are you anyway? How's Sean doing?
He's good. He's good. I woke up to him
Mm.
brushing the hair out of my face. So, he's awake. He's currently sleeping right now, but he has woken up from the surgery finally. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah, I have a really bad habit of waking up like every 15 minutes to check and make sure he's still breathing.
Yeah. 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 Well, that's what the
Yeah.
machines are for,
Yeah,
They'll
I
they'll,
know, but
they'll tell you. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. I recommend
I don't
one
want to
of those
get
neck
used to it.
pillows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get one of those neck
No,
pillows.
I just crawl into bed with him.
Well,
Yeah.
you'll get out of the habit when you fall out one night and you nearly break your coccyx and you know you walk around for a few weeks wishing you just stayed in the chair instead of sleeping next to him.
Mm, well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten pretty good at latching on to
Fair enough.
holding on for dear life. Yeah, but he's okay. So he's breathing on
Okay.
his own, and he hasn't had any complications. So just rest and all that good stuff.
I'm sure he has, but Flop has mentioned the cameras opposite the house, hasn't he? Yeah.
Do what?
He's mentioned that there's been cameras opposite the house.
No. When and how many? I honestly haven't spoken to Flop in a hot minute. And I think I'm a
Jesus.
little overdue for that conversation.
Um. Well, apparently there was one on a tree opposite opposite his house.
Okay,
I might have
that's
seen
lovely.
another report about. I don't know whether I saw one or two. There was definitely at least one. Um.
Lovely.
So yeah.
I
Well, yeah.
wonder if I can an officer tell me if cameras have been found at my house?
Um.
If there are reports about it? I mean, given the fact that I had that stalking case, I can speak to the
It doesn't hurt
officer
to
that
ask,
was.
right?
Okay, hold on a second. Let me call Dakota. Ugh, he's not answering.
A tattoo, chat. Look at it. You can see it.
Lovely. Okay, well. Are you hungry?
I'm thirsty. Yeah.
And I'm actually starving. So, do you want to go get some food?
Sure, let's go.
Okay. Are you good to drive?
Sure.
Because I don't want to.
He's not gonna mention chat with Matt's air. Not now. Can't do it now.
Dad, please don't go running up on people at night by yourself. Come on.
I'm not. I'm checking the trees. The cam.
Okay, well. Let's wait till the sun comes up. We'll be able to see better. So, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Good, good.
I was running shift 2 last night for a little bit.
Really?
But it was quiet. I'll be honest.
That's crazy.
I know. I was like, oh, this will be nice. You know, I'll get to experience the chaos and do some dispatching and pretty get to do some high octane dispatching and crickets. I mean, there was a shootout between CG and ADMC.
Yeah, Ziggy mentioned that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I talked to him very briefly this morning.
What was his side of things for that?
Well, I was checking in with him and Rue to see if they were okay, from their hospital stays and making sure that their stitches, that they were keeping an eye on them and whatnot. And I, very blatantly asked if he had been in any more shootouts, and he said no, but Rue had.
I thought I might have seen her on one of the dash cams.
So, what, from the blue hair, or did you actually see her?
I thought I saw a woman and I might have seen blue hair, but I couldn't be sure.
Well, just so you know, there's more than one in the club with blue hair.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, with that exact shade, too.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
People get them mixed up all the time, and it drives me
know.
nuts. Yeah. So it may not have been her. I don't know if she was in that specific one. Like I said, I don't know if he knew of every single one, but she hadn't been hurt again, which was what I was asking. So
I don't think I don't know whether a lot of them did, because I think they only had one ADMC in custody at the end of there, and they had a bunch of gang in custody. So I don't know whether they managed to, if there was ADMC injured, they got them out, or there just wasn't a lot of ADMC injured.
So, given that we live with Ziggy, I'm assuming that CG knows where he lives, right? So we should probably be careful during this war.
I mean, I imagine that's what the cameras were.
No, for fuck's sake. How long has this been going on?
Well, I mean, the cameras, I think I saw that report, like, it must have been at least 5 days ago. I assumed Bob told you, I just didn't think to mention it.
I don't recall him telling me anything about cameras. Like, I knew that they were after Ziggy, but
I think that's why, I think that's why they're there, right? Because of the whole situation with Ziggy, yeah.
right.
So maybe it's not Changa, maybe it's like the Solomon thing. Yeah.
I mean,
But I think they're all mixed into one.
he's their lapdog, so he's gonna go running and
Right.
telling them everything that he knows anyways, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I will be more careful then. And here I was just feeling like I didn't have to be careful anymore. You know, I don't know if it's because of, Sean's current situation and the hours that I have spent laying in a hospital bed listening to him breathe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to feel a type of way about our entire family situation.
What's that?
I'm feeling a lot less tolerant. And actually a little borderline angry.
Right. Go on.
I mean, it's nothing I haven't told you already. I just, like, the whole thing, it was just thrown upon us without any discussion, any consideration of us. I mean, especially for Sean and I, like I told you, that we weren't even consulted before she was allowed to move in. It went from, yeah, she can stay temporarily while her life is falling apart, but then, oh, hey, she has a room now. I mean, because we could have had this whole discussion before promises were made, before things were made more permanent, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the whole discussion about them adopting her, I was like, are you sure? Because we had literally just gone through all of this with Forte. And honestly, I don't even know if they even fully resolved that. And then immediately they're like, no, but we're serious about Rue. The more I think about it, the more I don't see how this works. Because in the end, somebody is going to feel forced to change or not do what they want to do. And like I told you, as much as they may claim that they will never hurt one of our boys, it's going to happen, just like you said. There's going to be a circumstance where vision isn't great. Communications are never perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like in that discussion, I don't think I have it in me to forgive them willingly harming a member of this family. Because although they have no malicious intent towards them directly, they're still making the conscious effort to participate in these activities that could lead to a shootout.
Oh wait. So I think first of all, I think regardless of whether or not Rue is
Hey, do you need a taxi?
do
We're
I
literally
look like
driving
I need
our
a
own
taxi?
car.
Yeah.
Yes, you look like you need a taxi. Get in the taxi.
Okay. Call the police. Call the police.
Yeah, I am. Was it a black taxi van?
Yeah. I don't know where they went.
There was what, 2 guys in it?
Yeah, 2 guys in like black.
Did you get a
hoodies.
look at them? Black hoodies. Okay.
Yeah.
What street was that?
Palomino. So I think regardless of whether or not Rue is ADMC, a criminal, or anything of her issues or what, if you strip all that away, or even if you have it, I don't think that's gonna change the decision on the adoption. I don't even think the Forte thing would have affected if the whole Forte situation happened or didn't happen. Wouldn't have affected the Rue adoption situation.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not negating their feelings. I'm that's not what I mean to do. It's just I'm trying to sift through all of this in my head, and like that I understand, because I know what it's like to bond with people.
This is the thing. Them adopting Rue is not a problem.
No,
Rue seems like a lovely girl who's very willing to be a member of this family. At least that's the initial
a part of her that she has allowed us to see. Yes,
exactly.
Because the Rue that I used to know was not like this Rue.
I think the issue is here. And it's the issue that started this whole goddamn mess that I saw coming months ago when I sat Ziggy down on that bench at Mirror Park and I told him that if he's gonna do this, he should do it on his own. And he should go on his own way and leave Flop out of it, is because the club has its claws in them. Both for good reasons and for bad reasons. They love that club. That's their family. But the club has them. They belong to that club. And it sucked them in. And they are now having to balance their commitment to that club with their commitment to this family. And right now, that balance is tipping in the scale of the club.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're all having. That's what it boils down to.
The other thing is that, you know, how Ziggy says that he would surrender. He would refuse to shoot. Does he actually think that there is a world where Barry, Sean, Ed, Shang, whoever, Finn, won't turn around and put a bullet in their head for not doing as they should? Do they honestly think that any one of them is going to stop and be understanding of that fact? No, because it's club first, always.
Yeah, I think he's being naive for thinking that.
There is I mean, even when it comes to relationships, Ziggy is incredibly naive if he thinks for 1 second that they will allow him to choose Flop over the club. It is always club first, which that puts his life at risk, which means that, again, he is setting himself up for making a decision that's going to catastrophically affect all of us if something were to happen to him. Any way this goes, we lose. And I don't think that they're even trying to. I feel like I mentioned to you the other day, I feel like Flop is being spun this very flowery, idealistic version that he can somehow reconcile what he knows deep down in his heart is the truth. And that's that this won't work. I have played every scenario in my head a million times over, and there is not a single way that this works for everybody. Somebody is going to have to give, somebody is going to have to compromise their morals, who they are at the end of the day. And given the fact that there are some of us who will not do that, it does not bode well. Like I said, I mean, I can't even imagine what Matt's going to say, how he's going to react to this. When I first heard that Sean got shot, my immediate terror sunk in, hoping and praying, A, that he was okay, and B, that it wasn't ADMC. Because then, bam, we've already dealt with it. It's already here in our faces. I have been through too much loss and too much heartache. And I have finally found the love of my life. And if that is ripped from my hands, because what? Some sense of loyalty, some thrill that they're chasing? The rage. I honestly don't know what I would be capable of at that point. But the phrase fire and brimstone, the likes of which that would make God himself jealous, is in my head currently. All of this just feels very one-sided. Like you said, it feels like we're having to make a lot of the exceptions and a lot of the compromises. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's because I'm emotionally charged because I've been laying next to him in that hospital bed. But in my core, I know there's never going to be a day when I'm going to be okay with the way that they are, the things that they do. I know for a fact that there are a lot of members in that club who hate cops. They have no respect for cops. And they would rather shoot them than speak to them. And although they may be tolerant of our boys, if it comes down to it, club or that friendship, quote unquote, it will be the club every time. No hesitation. Did I ever tell you that they tried? There was a couple of people that actually tried to get me into the BBMC back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. There was a guy named Jesse Reed. He and I were really good friends. And it was shortly after Sean and I broke up. And I was just feeling kind of lost and out of place. He had offered to take me under his wing. But Dundee was in the club at the time, and I hate Dundee. So it was an absolute no.
Yeah. I don't blame you for
But
that. You guys are psycho.
yeah, but I mean, through Jesse, I learned, and Finn, honestly, because God, I've been friends with Finn almost as long. I know how they feel. I know.
I told Matt about Rule.
You did.
Yeah, I figured I'd rip the band-aid off before he had to find out when he was processing or something ridiculous,
Oh God, yeah, that would have been. How did he handle it?
Well, his memories of Rule are her in a BBMC car, shouting at cops to get out of Vespucci or they're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's what. Before
it's,
this, I'd never had any good interactions with her either.
and essentially, yeah, he's he's not happy, I'll be honest.
Okay, when you say not happy, is it like, I don't know about that, or hell no, absolutely not?
Yeah, more
That,
towards that.
ew. Like the tone he had when he was drawing the line during the family meeting.
Uh-huh. Yeah. He pretty much said, if she would ever, I threw the hypothetical of, you know, Rue and Ziggy getting in a shootout with, the boys, and, you know, Matt said if that ever happened, he'd be, you know, she'd be dead to him, and that'd be the end of it. So,
I kind of feel the same way. I can't love somebody who will make the choice to actively harm one of us. And I don't think it's right that we should have to. And I feel absolutely horrible saying that out loud. But I can't. I mean, I had my best friend gun me down after an argument. And as much as they begged and pleaded for my forgiveness after, there's no coming back from that. It can't be undone. I feel absolutely sick.
I don't think I do anymore. Because if Rue or Ziggy end up putting Matt or Flop in a position where their life is at risk. After everything has happened, after the conversation I had with Ziggy at that lake, after the options I gave him of going his own way and leaving Flop out of it, I gave him that choice because I saw this coming. And not only that, he's put me in this position to not only have to worry about him
But no,
this whole time, but now Rule. But now I have to worry about him and Rule. I have to worry about my family, putting other members of my family. He's put me in that position.
He's put us all in that position.
And not only that, the amount of nights I've laid awake having to convince myself that what I'm doing is okay. I don't sleep.
Join the club.
I've sacrificed my morals just to keep this family intact. Just for
How do you
Ziggy to
think I
take
feel?
advantage of it.
I defended him to you because he said he was just the therapist for the club. And I understood that, yeah, there are civilian members of gangs who don't actively participate, you know, who we would never have to worry about it. And then he went and changed it up on us without even pausing to think how it would affect us all.
No.
He kept joking about, you know, if I like the idea of denim. That kind of life isn't something that you can just decide to do one day. It's a whole other way of thinking, a whole other way of responding to things. I mean, what's common sense to a criminal isn't common sense to people like you and me. He made so many promises to us that day. And it all just went right out the window. And we were somehow, expected to just. It almost feels like our willingness to accept Rue into the family, given her very active participation in criminal activities, somehow gave him a green light to do the same. And I guess there was always a part of me that would just hope that, maybe once, Rue came into the family and saw things from the other side, maybe she wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I was naive enough to think that too.
But then listening to her talk to her hang around the other day, she was just so nonchalantly violent. Jokingly talking about volunteering to snap somebody's neck, and I'm just like, it was the most off-putting. Because one minute we were just laughing and joking, and the next minute she's just laughing and joking about killing people. And I hate it because I know that there's a side of her that is so good and so kind and caring and loyal and fiercely protective. That beautiful artistic side of her. I know she's not a monster. It's just, she's just capable of doing monstrous things. And one day Ziggy is going to be capable of that too. What do we do, Dad? I want so desperately to talk to Flop because I know that he's not happy with the things that Ziggy's doing either. But I don't know if he has the strength to say it.
I think we need to. I think all of us need to tell Ziggy, and I don't know whether Rue needs to be there. I think Ziggy can handle that. I don't know whether Rue will take it well, given she's new to the family. But Ziggy especially needs to know the consequences of if he continues what he's doing. Because it's gonna be hard enough for me to forgive him for going against his word and doing crime in the first place. Because I'm not looking to rip this family and his family apart. I'm not looking to do that. I don't think anybody's looking to do that.
Yeah.
But that's what he's gonna see it as. But at the end of the day, he needs to know the consequence, at least from me. I don't know what it's gonna be from Matt, but I've told you what the consequence for Rue is from Matt. But if the worst happens, Ziggy's gone for me.
God. Why does it have to come to this? I just hate that Flop is in the middle of this, and that's what I'm really concerned about too, because I promised him so many years ago that I would never leave him.
You're not. And I'm not. And Matt's not. And Maple's not. Nobody's leaving him if we hold Ziggy and Rue accountable for their actions. Don't let anybody convince you of that. Flop and Ziggy are separate people. They may be married, but Ziggy is doing his own thing. He's making his own decisions.
That's why I want to talk to Flop, because I need to know how he feels about this. I want to know how he honestly feels about this. Like, without all of the flowery little metaphors that he always tries to throw in there. Are you happy about this? Is this what you want? Is this the life that you want to live? Are making these compromises what you want? Can you look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day knowing I don't want him to get swept up, and it would break my heart if he chose people he barely knew over us.
I think that's a conversation I've wanted to have with him too, but
I love my brother, and I can't lose him. I love Ziggy too, the fucking idiot.
Yeah, me too.
God, I'm so fucking angry at him for this.
Ziggy thinks he's doing the right thing.
No, he's fucking Delulu thinking that he can have it both ways. He thinks that he can have this family with our moral code.
I know.
And he thinks that he can live this gang life too, and everything's gonna be hunky-dory. That he can go out and he can gangbang, and then he can come home and we're all gonna be like, hey, how was your day? Kill any gangsters? I mean, how does he think that that's okay? I know Sean tried to, I guess, cushion the blow by trying to say that, you know, if he could forgive them for hurting him, I should be able to. Or asked me if I could, if he could forgive them. And I'm like, he goes, because when it comes down to it, it's just business. And I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to hear that shit. I understand that that's the way that you have to see it as a cop, because the majority of this motherfucking city are criminals and will shoot you. Because if you didn't, then you literally wouldn't be able to speak to any fucking body. And there would be grudges with literally everybody in this city. But this is family. And you do not love somebody in your family and then turn around and pull a gun and shoot them. And he did not go into this, and I'm talking about Ziggy now. He did not go into this thinking that, oh, well, there are no cops in my family currently, so why should I even consider that being an option? No. Because I know technically Sean is not part of the family yet, but he is my heart. And hurting him hurts me. But Flop has been a cop from day one. Matt has been a cop from day one. He knew damn well what he was getting into from go. He was not a member of the club from day one. And I mean, you saw it for yourself. I mean, in the family meeting, I mean, he was springing shit on us that he hadn't even told Flop. Flop was sidelined by some of the shit that he was saying. Because he hadn't even taken his husband into consideration in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that still happening? You know, like, did he decide to go and participate in this shooting and not even consult Flop? Or did Flop find out afterwards?
No, Flop found out afterwards when he found Ziggy and Rue at the hospital in the ICU.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's selfish. See, I'm angry. I'm angry that we are being forced to make these impossible decisions. Being friends with people or friendly with people who do crime is one thing. You're supposed to be able to love and trust your family unconditionally. And right now, I can't do that. And I hate that I have to say that out loud. I'm sorry. Like I said, I've been staring at the hospital ceiling for hours, thinking all of this through, and I'm done.
Don't apologize. It's I've gone through the same thing, but I've been angry about it, but I'm be honest, I think I'm a bit numb.
Because it's an impossible situation. It is heartbreakingly impossible.
It's not. I think that's why I'm numb. It's not impossible.
Yeah, I guess that's just the bleeding heart in me.
It's possible because what's possible is we tell Ziggy and we tell Rule and we give him the facts that this has got to stop. Because if it doesn't stop, then we can't have anything to do with him. Because it's compromising our lives as well. I say all in this case as the boys as police officers. It's compromising our morals. It's compromising everything.
Yeah.
It can't go on the way it has. Ziggy's broken our trust after the meeting. We at least thought Rue would change after she was adopted, but no. There's a complete imbalance. Something's got to change. And if anything was to happen, and Ziggy or Rue put the family in harm's way, they'd be dead to us. Well, to me, at least.
And me.
That's why it's not impossible, because I'd tell them that. And then they got to make a choice, just like they have been. Like they've been making choices to get involved. Then they can make a choice about what they want to do about that. And that might mean Flop's gonna have to make some really difficult choices too. But I can't compromise myself and their safety and my morals. Matt made the very good point that, you know, if Flop, even after all that, if Ziggy and Rue ended up shooting a member of the family in a shootout, and Flop still ended up, like, if the family split apart and we lost Flop because of it, then Flop's already been twisted too much, and Flop's morals are too far gone. Because he should understand that us being upset about that, we should be in the right to be upset about that.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't lose him if it got to that. So no, it's not an impossible situation. It's possible. It was possible. All up until Ziggy got involved and started getting his hands dirty. He's just been making active choices. He can make an active choice to take a step back and go back to being the club therapist. And I'm sure Rue can figure something out too. Or if she doesn't want to, then maybe she should consider doing what's best for the family. For her family. Whatever that might be.
Why does this hurt so much? I feel like Flop is just trying to hold on to everybody. I mean, you know he has abandonment issues. He doesn't want to lose anybody.
Yeah, I know.
As much as I love living in a full house, I think that depending on how they make their decisions, Sean and I may have to find another place to live.
Send Flop a text. You should talk to him.
I just don't ever want it to come across as like an ultimatum or But it almost is. Like,
It has to be.
we can't change who we are in our core.
Is it really an ultimatum to say you've got to stop getting in shootouts with police because your family are cops and you could end up killing them? Is that really an ultimatum? Or is that just fucking common sense?
I mean, the fact that he even put us in this position in the first place denotes that he lacks the common sense.
I don't care whatever way it gets spun. I really don't.
I know, I know. Trust me, I'm not arguing with you, Dad. I agree.
No, I know you don't. But text your brother. You need to have that conversation. And have it for me, because that's one I've been wanting to have with him for a while, and I haven't really wanted to hear the answers, so.
You sure you don't want to be around for it?
If I'm around, I'll be there. But just make it happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna wake up tonight when he goes on duty. I mean, let's face it, we both know I'm gonna be in the fucking hospital, so.
You have his work phone? No.
Does he have a new phone number?
He has a work phone, yeah, so just take this down.
Okay, hold on. Okay, what is it?
420, yeah. 739 now. 4029.
4029?
Yeah. 420 739 4029.
Okay, got it. How long has he had that? What the fuck?
Not very long. Only a few
Okay.
days. He's just trying to have a phone at work that he only just calls it on. I guess I
Okay.
don't know why.
Well, I mean, probably for the same reason why I have one that's call only.
Probably.
Nobody can go digging through our personal shit. Which I did not switch to my clean SIM card. I still have my other one, so. Let's not let me get kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely talked to Flop. I don't know whether he's talked to Ziggy yet, but I hope he has.
Yeah, I wish that Sean wasn't in the fucking ICU because he's so much better at this than I am. He's just, I don't know. Do you think at any point that I'm over exaggerating or blowing things out of proportion? Because you know I have that tendency.
Maybe I would have said we both were a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But not now.
Okay. That's why I generally double check with Sean, but since he can't, I'll double check with you.
It's like if you live in the desert, right? And you're like, if you start saying to me, oh, it's gonna snow. It's gonna snow. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking exaggerating, right?
Yeah.
But then if we live in the North Pole, and you're like, oh, it's gonna
Yeah.
snow tomorrow, or it might snow next week, I don't think you're exaggerating anymore. That's a possibility that we've got to consider. Yeah, mate.
Hey there, welcome to Frank's. My name is Lou, Iggy Lou. I keep it icy. How are you doing today?
Hello, Lou. How much ice do you have?
Hello, ma'am.
We've got quite a lot. We have an ice dispenser here because we have brand new lemonade. Is that something
Wow,
you'd like
that's
today?
so lovely. Maybe I'll get a glizzy combo. That'd be great. Can I get an extra lemonade with that?
Halloumi
Of
fries
course,
this
one
time.
combo with an
And
extra
then,
lemonade, yeah?
Thank you.
What's
Well,
the other drink?
And
Not
would you
the
like anything
tea,
else, or would that be all?
Aiden.
Yeah, that. I'm gonna try that.
what was
that
that?
everything, or would you
Sorry.
like anything else?
Oh, that's everything. Thank you, mate.
Chili sauce or garlic
Fantastic.
sauce,
When
ma'am?
you're ready, my friend,
A
please just
garlic
swipe
sauce,
there. We'll get
please.
it ordered right
Thank
up.
you.
Can you swipe that for me?
Thank you.
Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All right, my friend. I have the order ready for you right here. Here is your glizzy.
Have a good day, ma'am. Enjoy your
Thank you,
meal.
mate.
Take care.
You too.
And
Stay
here
safe.
are your 2 lemonades. Thank you so much for choosing Frank's today. I really appreciate that. I hope you have a great day. You take care and be safe, all
You
right?
too.
Nice.
Take it easy.
Thank you, brother. All right, customer, that's not an employee.
These drinks fucking suck.
God, these wraps are so fucking good. I'm addicted to them.
What wraps are they?
Chicken and lamb. They
Oh.
have. And the fries are pretty good too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very good.
Well, I'm probably gonna
So
head to
what's your
work.
plan? Yeah, you're gonna do a little dispatching.
Yeah, if if there's people officers about, I don't know whether it's gonna be a busy shift or not. If it's not, I
Okay.
probably won't because dispatching
Yeah.
outside a shift with cops I don't know, with not a lot of cops on duty, it's not the
Mhm.
most enjoyable thing in the world. So
Yeah.
if not, I might just head home and take a snooze.
Yeah, that's. I think if you want to swing by the hospital and drop me off,
All right.
I'll just go curl up in bed with Sean and wait for Flop to come on duty.
Okie dokie.
Thank you. I know I texted it to you, but thank you again for coming to the hospital when he gets hurt. It means a lot. I appreciate it.
It's I want to make sure that I don't want my people being alone at the hospital.
Yeah. Only Flop and I are his emergency contacts. He doesn't really have anybody else but us.
That's what family's for, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, chin up, okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Yeah,
it easy.
he's up and he's talking, so the worst is over. Now it's just letting him rest. So,
All right. Well,
all
you
right,
take it easy too.
you too. Have fun.
You too. Love
Love
you.
you.
spicy tea today, huh? That was a juicy one. Ria, I'm calling you out. You see how that came up about Matt naturally? You see how that came up naturally? I'm calling you out. And I didn't need you to put it in chat. See that? Anything for 16 months, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the 16 months. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. What are you gonna give Dark's thoughts about this? Yeah, Dark, after that conversation with Matt, is pretty much especially that ADMC were literally in a shootout with police when he was on duty last night. He saw that firsthand. And 2 cops got shot down. He gave Ziggy an ultimatum. Didn't go well. Ziggy was blooded in. He's had to compromise so much of his own morals and like sacrifice so much of himself that, like, you know, basically Doc's been pulled in. I think Jem wrote in chat during that conversation, like, Doc's been pulled in so many different directions to try and keep this family in one piece because of Ziggy. Yeah, like, and for Ziggy. I'm not gonna say because of Ziggy. I'm gonna say for Ziggy, because it was Ziggy's choice, and Dark has because of Ziggy's choice and for Ziggy's choice, because Ziggy is happy because of it, right? And Flop is happy because of it, because they're still together and they're married and they're part of the family. Dark has made sacrifices to make sure that the family is happy and still intact, right? So he's made all these sacrifices just for, in his opinion, no considerations have been made. And if anything, it's escalating to a point where, in a similar vein to in a microscope, if you look at this Tilly situation with Dispatch, red flags are popping up, right? There's red flags popping up here, violent red flags with ADMC, with Ziggy getting involved in this shootout. That's a violent red flag. ADMC last night, violent red flag with the cops. It's a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb until something happens between either Ziggy or Rue and the family. And so his thoughts are, like, that can't happen. They've got to know what's going to happen if that does happen. Like, that's going to be, it's better to lay that out for them so that they know, rather than them find out later, right? Dark does love Ziggy. Yes, sir. Dark loves Ziggy. Dark sees Ziggy as his son. He does. If Dark didn't love Ziggy, he would have, like, he would have honestly disowned him once he found out he was a part of ADMC. I'm going to keep driving because we're talking. But because Ziggy's been so good to Flop, and he's been such a son to Dark and everything, and, you know, he's, since Cody, Ziggy has been a son to Dark, and he doesn't want to lose him. That's why he was so, like, mad at Ziggy for the whole ADMC thing, because he was like, how dare you put me through that? Like, how dare you put me in another position to lose a son? And Ziggy didn't get that in the conversation. He thought he was talking about Flop, but he was talking about Ziggy. Ziggy thought he was like, how dare you put me in a position to lose on the sun? No, he was on about Ziggy. And now it's just getting worse. So yeah, it's one of those where Doc is just like, they've got to know at this point what's going to happen if it gets to that point. And you know, they've also got to know, Ziggy's got to know that he's betrayed Doc's trust, and he needs to know everybody's feelings about the situation, and then he's got to make whatever choices he wants. Like, he's a grown ass adult. I don't think it's on Doc to like try and mold the outcome of that situation. He's not gonna try and be like, oh, please don't go anywhere, or please do this, or please do that. He's gonna give his opinion on it. He's gonna say what's gonna happen from his standpoint, and then, you know, he's gonna leave it to them. And like, you know, he's gonna say, you've been making conscious decisions to get involved with, you know, and protect your family in the ADMC. I'm now asking you to make a conscious effort to protect this family right here by not getting involved. And stop getting involved in, or don't get involved in shootouts with police. And maneuver yourself into better positions within the club where you don't have to do that. And what Doc was saying to Etta about Rue was basically, if Rue cares about Flop and you know, the rest of the family, if she doesn't feel like she can reasonably not be involved in shootouts with police, aka can she reasonably not get into shootouts with Flop, her father, and not shoot him, or Maple, or Rhodes for that matter, she should really be making a decision without the influence of the rest of the family, perhaps not to be in the family. As rough as that sounds, that's something Doc would do if he was a criminal. Because if those are people you love, like, if you can't stop yourself from getting involved, then you can at least distance yourself from those people, right? There's a lot of spicy stuff going on here. There's a lot of spicy stuff. You would care about her, exactly. Exactly. But I think maybe the issue with Rue is she cares about Ziggy, she cares about Flop. Does she care about the rest? I don't know. Would I blame? I don't think Doc would particularly blame like a young, like, kid like Rue for not like caring about the rest of the family if she hasn't like met them too much. But at the same time, it's like they're still her father's family. So